Your new life is going to cost you your old one. Everything you've known, every excuse you've clung to, every comfort that kept you complacent, it all stays behind. You're standing at a crossroads. You're tired, aren't you? Tired of feeling weak. Tired of knowing you could be doing more but constantly letting your own mind sabotage you. Tired of knowing that you have more potential than you're showing. You're sick of the distractions, the delay, the lies you've been telling yourself about the life you want to live and the person you could be. And the truth is, the person you want to become doesn't exist yet because you've been too afraid to pay the price. Your brain? It's a machine built for survival, and survival means staying in the safe, the familiar. But that familiar life? It keeps you small. It keeps you weak. It will do everything in its power to keep you from stepping into the unknown, from testing your limits. It wants to stay comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of progress. To step into greatness, to force your mind to crave hard things, to demand discipline, you have to abandon everything that keeps you anchored to the past. It's time to rewire yourself. You must embrace the pain, the struggle, the sacrifice. You must dive into discomfort, lean into the struggle, and push through it every single day. Because that's where growth lies. That's where you'll discover who you really are. The road is hard, but that's the point. The struggle is where you find your true power. This video isn't just about how to do hard things. It's about transforming your life by learning how to make your brain your ally, not your enemy. The man you're becoming will be forged in the fire of your own will. But here's the thing. There's an enemy in your pursuit of greatness. It's called resistance. And if you're truly ready to unlock your potential, you'll need to face it head on. Resistance is that unseen force lurking at the edges of every ambitious pursuit, ready to derail your progress. Stephen Pressfield, in his book The War of Art, calls this force the resistance, and it will manifest in many forms. It will make you feel tired, doubt yourself, tell you you're not good enough, and most dangerous of all, it will convince you to stop. But here's the truth. Resistance is not something to fear. It's a sign that you're on the right path. It's the universe's way of telling you that you are pushing yourself to the limits. Resistance is more than just a feeling, it's a physiological response. When you face difficult tasks, your brain reacts by producing stress hormones like cortisol. This primal reaction is your brain's attempt to keep you within the safety of the familiar. The science is clear. Stress is a powerful force, but it also leads to growth when managed properly. The more you confront this discomfort, the more resilient you become. Embrace it. The key isn't avoiding resistance, but facing it head on. Each time you push through, you grow stronger, sharper, and more resilient. Resistance is a signal that you're on the right path, ready for growth. Now, to conquer it, you need strategies that transform this force into fuel for your progress. Tip number 1, reframe the resistance. Resistance is not your enemy, it is your ally. It's the fire that forges your character. Every time you feel that urge to quit, to procrastinate, or to let doubt take over, remember, that is the moment that determines who you're becoming. The key to overcoming resistance is to reframe your perception of it. Instead of viewing resistance as a barrier, view it as the challenge you need to conquer to elevate yourself. It's like a muscle that grows stronger when it's pushed to its limits. Tip number 2. Use the 5-second rule. When resistance hits, there's a simple yet powerful tool you can use to break through. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. It's as straightforward as it sounds. The moment you feel hesitation or doubt, count down from 5 to 1, and then immediately act. This countdown forces your brain to shift gears, breaking the cycle of hesitation and pushing you into action. By eliminating the space between thought and execution, it interrupts the brain's natural tendency to stall and procrastinate, allowing you to take that critical first step without overthinking. The moment you act, you seize control. But here's the truth. No matter how many techniques you use, your mind will always try to pull you back into the comfort zone because your mind is designed for comfort. It craves safety, stability, and familiarity. It will not naturally seek discomfort or challenge, and this is exactly why the mind is your greatest adversary. Your brain, in its desire to protect your self-image, will always try to avoid what feels hard, what feels difficult. The moment you decide to step out of your comfort zone, your brain will go to work, convincing you that you're not ready. It will convince you that you're too tired, too weak, or that you don't have what it takes. But there's something you need to understand. Your mind's job is to protect the self-image you've built for yourself. But that image is often nothing more than a barrier holding you back. It's a cage made of your own beliefs, your own limitations. To break free from this cage, you must first understand the science behind the brain's fear of discomfort. When you face discomfort, your brain's amygdala, the fear center, lights up. This is the part of the brain responsible for triggering the fight or flight response. It's not an enemy, it's a natural survival mechanism. But here's the truth. The amygdala doesn't know the difference between actual danger and discomfort that leads to growth. You must teach your brain to reinterpret discomfort as opportunity, not danger. Tip 3. Just start. The key to breaking through is simple. Just start. Start before you're ready. The moment you begin, you're already winning. Fear will hold you back, and hesitation will paralyze you. But the moment you move, your mind shifts. Action creates momentum. Psychology tells us that the hardest part of any task is the initiation. Once you begin, it's easier to continue. Remember, motivation is unreliable. It's like a fire, hard to start but fleeting once it's burning. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Start, and the motivation will follow. It's a simple yet profound truth that will change the way you approach everything. But starting is just the first step in building true strength. You must push beyond the initial burst of energy. To make real, lasting progress, you need to understand that willpower is a muscle. You have to train it. Willpower isn't a mystical force. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows stronger the more you train it. Think of willpower as your mind's capacity to overcome resistance. But if you're not actively pushing your willpower, you're weakening it. And when your willpower weakens, resistance grows stronger. Research shows that willpower is finite. In a study conducted by Roy Baumeister at the University of Florida, participants who exercised self-control on one task showed decreased willpower on subsequent tasks. But here's the secret. Just like your muscles, willpower can be strengthened through consistent use. The more you challenge yourself, the more you push through difficulty, the stronger your resolve becomes. Tip 4. Embrace evolving pain. To cultivate true willpower, you must become comfortable with evolving pain. This means that discomfort isn't just something to endure. It's something to lean into. Every time you take action in the face of discomfort, your ability to endure grows. The pain you face today is not the same as yesterday's. It evolves. Embrace it. This is how true mastery is forged. Not by avoiding pain, but by becoming stronger in the face of it. Tip 5. Strengthen willpower with micro-challenges. One of the most effective ways to build willpower is to constantly challenge yourself with small, manageable tasks. These micro-challenges serve as incremental exercises that build your mental fortitude. This could be as simple as resisting the urge to check your phone while working, choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator, or sticking to a strict study schedule. These small acts compound over time, making you mentally unstoppable. But as you continue to build your willpower, it's important to understand what drives you. Because when you face these challenges, something deeper is at play. It's not just about completing tasks. It's about what fuels your efforts, what keeps you pushing forward. It's about your motivation. There are two types of motivation: intrinsic versus extrinsic. Motivation is not a one-size-fits-all concept. There are two types of motivation: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation is rooted in the core of who you are. It's driven by passion, purpose, curiosity, and mastery. When you're intrinsically motivated, you're driven by an internal desire to improve, to learn, to grow. It's not about rewards or recognition. It's about the journey itself. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from external factors: money, status, fame, or recognition. These can get you started, but they are fleeting. You may achieve success, but it will feel hollow. Research shows that extrinsic rewards can lead to a phenomenon known as the hedonic treadmill, where the excitement of success quickly fades, leaving you chasing the next prize, never truly satisfied. Tip 6. Shift to intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the fuel that keeps the fire burning, even when external rewards fade away. To unlock this, you must connect to something deeper. Why are you doing this? What drives you from within? Is it a passion for the craft, a sense of duty, or the desire to master your own mind? The more you connect with these intrinsic motivators, the stronger your flow state becomes. Studies show that when you're in a state of flow, a mental state of full immersion and focus, your brain releases powerful neurochemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals increase focus and drive, pushing you deeper into the work, making you feel unstoppable. This is the state where you reach your peak performance. Your intrinsic motivations, your curiosity, your sense of purpose, your drive to master become the engine that powers you through every obstacle. But motivation alone is not enough to push you to the next level. To truly master the process and achieve excellence, you must adopt a mindset that transcends motivation and embraces discipline, and that is to go pro, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. To truly elevate yourself, you must adopt the mindset of a professional. The war of art teaches us that the amateur dabbles, but the professional shows up day in and day out. A professional doesn't wait for the stars to align. A professional doesn't wait for inspiration to strike. A professional shows up, and they do the work no matter what. How you do one thing is how you do everything. It's a simple truth. If you cut corners in one area of your life, it will seep into others. If you skip the hard things in one area, you'll find yourself avoiding the hard things everywhere else. But if you rise to the challenge, if you give everything your all, then you become someone who thrives on challenges, someone who craves them. Tip 7. Embrace the process. Shift from I have to I get to. This is where you must evolve your mindset completely. Shift from the mindset of I have to do this to I get to do this. This shift is profound. The hard work you face is not something you are burdened with. It's a privilege. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every struggle is a chance to build the person you're meant to become. Tip 8. Always seek the next level and embrace the process. Going pro means relentlessly seeking the next level. It's not about staying comfortable. It's about pushing yourself, hunting for the next challenge, the next battle. Complacency is your enemy. The moment you master one skill, you move on to the next. Professionals never settle for good enough. They're driven by something deeper, a hunger for mastery, a commitment to continuous growth. Forget the result. It's a fleeting illusion. The process, the grind, that's where the real power lies. Every repetition, every setback, every obstacle is part of the journey that molds you. Focus on the struggle, because in that discomfort, you forge strength. Each day you show up, each day you fight through the pain, you evolve into the person you were always meant to be. And that's how you rise. That's how you become unstoppable. In the end, you've confronted the resistance, embraced the struggle, and committed to the process. You've learned to force your brain to crave hard things because you understand that without discomfort, there is no growth. Every moment of pain, every challenge, every setback, these are not your enemies. They are the forge in which your character is shaped. Now you must continue to walk this path. The fight is never over. Every day you rise to face what others avoid, you gain power. Every step you take toward mastery, every ounce of willpower you strengthen, propels you closer to the person you were always meant to be. Your world is not built on ease. It is built on persistence, on embracing the struggle and forging ahead, no matter the obstacles. The path you've chosen will never be easy, but it will be worth it. You now have the tools, the mindset, and the grit to shape your destiny. It's time to own it. Remember, it's your world. Build it.